A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy, Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. It's Threadbare Thursday. Anything you want talked about, just shoot it to us there in the comment section. Be sure to like, share, and follow if you have not already the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. And yesterday we had a good day down in Tampa Bay as the boat caravan came through.
Yeah, Tom Brady did his best Jeremy Greene impression. It was great.
I'm going to say this, though. Even though he has all the money in the world to be able to pay for a drunk like that, I don't think he had to pay a whole lot.
Nope.
Because I'm thinking he probably had 3 drinks.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the 43-year-old guy that gets to go drink with his buddies once a year, and it shows.
Right.
Tom was good and housed coming off that boat.
Oh, he had to be carried off the boat. Who was it that was carried in Cameron Brate?
Ryan Griffin.
Ryan Griffin.
I thought it was just some It was much funnier to me when it wasn't a player. I thought they had actually employed a guy. Your whole job today is to carry Tom off the boat.
I imagined
That's it.
Yeah, I imagined it was like a PR guy or something. It did not look like a professional football player.
Nope.
The guy looked way smaller than a professional football player. But apparently it was Ryan Griffin that was carrying Tom Brady off of the dock. And then he and Rob Gronkowski were so drunk that they couldn't address the crowd when they actually, because they did the flotilla down to a private dock where they had the usual setup where everybody does their postseason speeches, and Rob and Tom could not speak.
I wish they had let them speak. That would have been the greatest speech in the history. You know why I love you guys? Because you're the best. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
I got 7 Super Bowl trophies.
And then I could just see Rob Gronkowski Stone Cold Steve Austin 2 beers.
Right.
I can't believe how many people were mad at Tom for getting plowed.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he's supposed to be Mr. Clean Cut and, never gets drunk kind of guy. Like, I mean, this is a guy who eats celery for every meal of his life.
Which has negative calories, just so you know. Don't know if you knew that or not, but it does.
Right. On his TB12 275 calorie a day diet.
Yeah, you know what that diet consisted of yesterday? 4 beers. Rob Gronkowski's was 40 beers.
No, what was it? He was having avocado vodka or something? Was that avocado tequila?
Even when Tom gets drunk, his drunk is lame. I wish he had just said, I've been shotgunning rock gut whiskey since about noon. Judge me.
Right, he buys the only liquor that you can get at Whole Foods.
Yeah, 100%. It was some whey, it was a whey tequila.
Which, if you're familiar with the ABC rules or lack thereof down in Florida, I mean, you can buy liquor at any store.
Yeah.
Because they do it right.
You can actually buy liquor in most elementary schools in Florida, from what I understand.
I did enjoy the speeches, though, yesterday, especially Bruce Arians being completely non-filtered with all of his Bud Light.
It's the first thing I've ever liked about Bruce Arians.
In all his Bud Light glory, steps up onto the stage and just, throwing shade at the Kansas City Chiefs, talking about, oh, we're not running back. That's Kansas City's bullshit. That's not our bullshit. Our bullshit's going to be win another one. Like, somebody needs to work with you on your slogans. Win another one's not a great one, and neither is no risk it, no biscuit. Can we get some PR team on this? Work out some new slogans for this team?
Yeah, call Pat Riley. He's real good at them. He's trademarked like 11 of them. I did enjoy that Bruce Arians apparently just forgot the salary cap's a thing. He looked at everybody and went, "You're not going anywhere. I don't know how we're going to pay you, but will you accept payment in beers?"
He interrupted every speech of every guy that could possibly leave in the offseason and said, "You're going nowhere."
He turned into, what was Randy Savage's character in Ready to Rumble? "You're going nowhere. Buzzsaw. I got you for 3 minutes."
No, that was Spider-Man. That was in the Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the Spider-Man movie.
Randy Savage did way too many movies for a guy that nobody could understand him speak. Spicy hot take.
Nice.
Threadbare Thursday. Hashtag birds aren't real.
There are all the theories going on around right now about how Tampa Bay can keep everybody, and it's not going to happen. I think there's a lot that they can keep, and apparently we've got a new player that wants to join Tom Brady to win Super Bowls. Adrian Peterson. Yeah, I'm a 35-year-old running back. I can win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady.
Yeah, apparently Adrian Peterson sent this to Tom Brady, and spicy hot take. I have seen the text messages. I know what Tom Brady said. New phone, who dis?
Nice.
Don't care.
No, his text message was, y'all aren't going to have LaShawn back next year, right? So
by the way,
I can take his spot.
Can we stop with the LaShawn McCoy has retired thing? I've seen that like 50 times. This is not that hard to figure out. We have Twitter. Everybody has a little check mark. If you don't see it from a check mark, stop reporting it. I've wanted to say that for 2 days, and there was finally a reason.
Okay.
LaShawn McCoy, who has won 2 Super Bowls in a row and not played one fucking snap in either one of them. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Right.
There has been widespread speculation that LaShawn McCoy retired. No, he didn't. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to.
Right.
He just hasn't yet.
I mean, he needs to.
Agreed.
There's not a place.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be spending money on him in the offseason.
Tampa Bay's not. They're going to be like, here's your ring, now go away.
Yep.
We have other running backs
and now we'll bring in another Hall of Famer, and Adrian Peterson can be our 4th running back.
I'm gonna bet you don't.
You don't think so?
No. You know why? Because Adrian Peterson's 806 years old.
Although,
now that I think about it, a lot of older people do retire to Tampa Bay I'm not going to finish
to win
that.
Super Bowls.
That's not what I was going to say, but sure, we'll go with that. That's much nicer than what I was going to say.
The discount deals begins again with Tom Brady. Everybody wants to be a part of a winner. And what makes greater sense at the later stages of your career than taking less money to win a title? I think they'll be able to, they'll be in the discussion again next year, and I'm interested to see where this goes. I still think Chris Godwin is the odd man out of all of the free agents, the impending free agents that Tampa Bay has. I don't think you're going to be able to pay Chris Godwin enough. I mean, Chris was, gracious yesterday when Bruce Arians came on the stage and looked at him and told him, "You're not going anywhere either." And he laughed and he raised his hands, and yeah, he's looking at that paycheck going, no, don't think so.
I know.
I think I can, because we talked price tags the other day. What's his price tag? 17?
Chris Godwin?
Yeah, 17 million.
The problem with Chris Godwin is there's a lot of receivers that are free agents.
Mm-hmm.
You got Juju Smith-Schuster, let's see, Allen Robinson, Will Fuller. It's not as high as you think it is. But then again, nobody's going to be as high as you think.
True.
Nobody has any money. This is like going to a hippie festival and they're selling beers. Well, nobody has any money.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Barter your hair? Doesn't work that way.
I've seen speculation or predictions putting Chris Godwin with the Jacksonville Jaguars as the number 1 to DJ Shark and obviously Trevor Lawrence throw into him. Would you like that fit?
No, because I already have a slot guy.
Laviska.
Yeah, if receivers are not the problem in Jacksonville. I will say if Orlando Brown doesn't wind up as the left tackle of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you did it wrong. I didn't realize I was breaking something yesterday. I thought that was common knowledge. Apparently it was not. Yeah, Orlando Brown has officially requested a trade. Stephen Tao, that was widely known, right? Like Ian Rappaport reported it like, breaking news, Orlando Brown. I knew that shit a week ago. Like, I said that as an afterthought on this show yesterday. Mm-hmm. Then I saw Ian Rappaport's tweet and went, maybe I should have put more into that.
He got credit for breaking the news.
Yeah, and I'm like, I said that 4 fucking hours ago.
Right.
Okay, Stephen Tao said, yep, people are done. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure that all the Ravens fans knew that. I didn't miss an opportunity to be spicy hot sports take guy.
Alex Sanders says, do you guys think that Galladay will take a smaller contract to stick with Stafford in L.A.? There's people chiming about it, and I'm like, hell no. Not no, but hell no. Because they don't have the cap to do it.
I don't know how the Rams are going to field a team because their cap looks like a minefield right now. Kenny Galladay is a guy that I don't really know what the market for him's going to be. You just had a really weird contract year where you were hurt, and then it was, maybe you're not as hurt as we say you are, but you're trying to, take care of yourself. I don't know. Well, Galladay's the one I don't have a good read on. One of them is going to end up with the Jets. I can tell you that definitively. The report came out yesterday that they're very interested in Juju Smith-Schuster and Will Fuller, which is like saying we're very interested in porterhouse and avocado ice cream. I really hope it's the former, not the latter. I have zero interest in Will Fuller.
That far apart, okay.
Yeah, no interest. No.
Well, he doesn't have the greatest of track records.
No.
According to Spot Track, the Rams are $25 million over the cap for next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be LA. LA has the weapons. LA is good there. The problem is they need to draft really well on the offensive line. Good thing for that is this is a good draft to need that because there's a lot in later rounds. So, I don't know with Galladay. I'm trying to wrap my head around a place that I actually think he would fit.
Well, it's good for the wide receivers. All of the wide receivers are in this next free agent class because all of the teams that have the most money are all teams that need wide receivers.
Miami Dolphins is the one that's screaming at me.
You got the Dolphins, but like the top four in cap space next year, according to what I'm looking at: Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, Indianapolis Colts, New England Patriots. All of them should be in the market for a wide receiver.
Well, if you're a wide receiver, I'd probably like to know who's throwing to me in New England before I can.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying.
Is it going to be Cam again? Because if it's Cam again, you're going to have to pay me a lot.
I'm out.
Because frankly, I haven't played shortstop since I was in middle school, and I don't really want to catch grounders.
No, everybody knows that it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh shit, Michael Whiteside on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go to YouTube / the Sportsocracy. Subscribe there. We're going to be doing some cool contests. The March Madness contest we'll be announcing on YouTube in the coming days. We have partnered with a group that has a really, really cool March Madness idea that we will be using on this show. Larry Flint died.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is, but no. By the way, I was today years old when I actually saw what Larry Flint looked like. I didn't know that.
Okay.
He was Woody Harrelson in my head. The People versus Larry Flint is one of the few movies I've ever actually watched in my life. And it was good.
Yeah. So you're all tore up about that?
Hey, Larry Flint did some good. He did some less than good too, but
I'm gonna disagree for the square. Yeah.
Do you want me to go down this path?
What?
There's not one of us that can say their life has not in some way been affected by Larry Flint. And if you tell me you haven't, you're a dirty damn liar.
Thank you for saying it that way, because I was afraid.
You should have been terrified of what I was getting ready to say. Because it could have been markedly worse.
Godwin will play for the Patriots. Unfortunately, Julian Edelman will be in Tampa.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't know how unfortunate that is, though. I mean, he's just an ancillary piece at that point. And it's not like he's going to cost a whole lot of money. He's going to be another one of those guys that, agrees to play for $1.5 million for a season just so he could try to, what was it? We're going to win 2.
Yeah.
I almost said run it back.
We're going to go for 2.
It's not. We're going for 2.
Aaron said we're
it.
going for 2.
Going for 2.
Real creative, no risk it, no biscuit.
Hashtag go for 2.
What?
The comments on YouTube are funny. Anybody else see that? There we go. I'm not going to repeat it because Gina Carano has taught me that you can't really say things like that and not get fired. Gina, you have a spot right here anytime you want it. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Should use better choices of words. We'll have to have a talk about that. But you have a spot with us anytime you want it.
Yeah. Today is the day that I have predicted that I think we'll hear an announcement from Drew Brees. We were expecting.
You could very well be right.
We were expecting that announcement at any moment. They said that before the Super Bowl happened, and I believe that he was just waiting for Tom to have his day. And Tom got to have his parade yesterday, and I think Drew will probably make his announcement today. So we'll be able to talk about that breaking news hopefully this afternoon on the ESPN Asheville show.
Breaking news.
I just want to plant my flag on that, and then we'll have the Carson Wentz news coming out after that.
To the Indianapolis Colts for the 21st pick in the draft.
Just as Jeremy predicted.
Not coming off of it. You can keep throwing misinformation. You can keep throwing shade. I've heard what I've heard, and I'm sticking to it.
That's fair.
Just like John McClain yesterday. I don't know that I've ever been that happy for a 77-year-old beat writer to agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
John McClain works for the Houston Chronicle. He's one of the most connected Houston Texans reporters on earth, and he basically said if the Texans are going to trade Deshaun Watson, which they currently have no interest in doing, it will be to the New York Jets. I have said that so many times that the words have lost all meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Obviously, of the group of teams that have the most money going into this offseason, I mean, the Indianapolis Colts are by far the closest team to being relevant, to being competitive. Between the Jaguars, the Jets, the Patriots, Bengals, Broncos.
I think a lot of these teams that have money are going to be more competitive next year than you think. I have this funny feeling. We talked about this yesterday. The NBA right now has 6 teams with single-digit losses. The average team's played 24 games. I want you to think about what I just said. There are like 17 teams that are between 500 and 2 games over 500, or 2 games below 500. I could very easily see the NFL looking strikingly like that next year. You have one really bad team, which I think is the Lions. I think the Lions are going to be god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the Jaguars are going to be better. Mm-hmm. You're going to have having Trevor Lawrence instead of Mustachio is, that's enough of an improvement that you're going to be markedly better.
Right.
I mean, so what is Jacksonville, 5-11? Worst case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
The Jets. The Jets are going to be markedly better no matter who their quarterback is. Because you're going to have weapons for Sam. Worst case scenario, you add 2 ones in the draft, which I think would be probably Devontae Smith and Travis Etienne, or maybe Najee Harris, depending on which one you like better.
Mm-hmm.
And you run that with, let's say it's Juju Smith-Schuster, Jamison Crowder, and Denzel Mims with Chris Herndon. That's not bad. And I'm not a homer on that. That's actually not bad.
Mm-hmm.
All of these really bad. The Bengals with a full year of Joe Burrow, most likely going to wind up with Penny Sewell to protect him. That team's going to be way better. I just don't think you're going to see the haves and the have-nots like you had this year. This year you had 6 teams that were borderline non-competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's happening again. I think you're going to have a lot of teams like the Jets beating the Rams next year. Just an example because it's what happened last year.
Right. You think those upsets will still happen even though this time won't be as different? Because the schedule we'll be back on schedule.
No, I just think the discrepancy in talent is going to be much closer because most of the bad teams have money. I mean, really think about the 7 teams with the most money in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars who pick 1,
mm-hmm.
Jets who pick 2, Dolphins who pick 3, granted it's Houston's pick, and Bengals who pick 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is going to be a buyer's market because you're going to see deals that blow your mind. Stephen Tao asked me what the word is on Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's another one that's been tied to the Jets. The connection with Rob Salah when they were in Jacksonville. I'll be honest with you, I think the receiver market starts with the Jets. Because they're the team that's going to spend big boy money. They're going to go get who they want. I mean, they have, by the time they cut, they have 3 players. It's 2 guards and Henry Anderson, the defensive tackle. That doesn't fit the scheme. By the time they cut those 3, they have $80-some-odd million. They're going to dictate the market. Because Jacksonville's not spending on a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this, and you just remember that I said this. Watch Von Miller wind up with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I got a little birdie was in my ear, and it made all the sense in the world. There's no connection to Urban Meyer. I'll save you the Google search because I've already done it. Mm-hmm. But just watch. Chris Enfield said the Dolphins finished 10-6 and had money to spend. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why the Dolphins are one of the teams I told you to put a futures bet on them going to the Super Bowl next year. Do I think they can win it? No. But if they wind up with Deshaun Watson and have $1 trillion, that team could be way better than what you saw this year.
Yeah.
And that was a team that damn near made the playoffs.
Yeah, I put Indianapolis a little bit ahead of them, especially if they.
The Colts made the playoffs, so
Right,
the Colts
if they
you're
get
not getting the same level of odds on
True.
Indy that you're getting on.
Sure, and
Miami.
I'm not talking about the gambling odds. I'm just talking about the future projection. For me, for them, I've got them a little bit ahead of the Dolphins because they have more money to spend than the Dolphins, and it's a franchise that normally doesn't make horrible decisions.
No.
And if they're able to get Carson Wentz, I think that's a major game changer for them.
It is. Carson Wentz is markedly better than Phillip Rivers is at this point.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree with that. Who do you think will? I mean, do you think all of these teams are going to go all in, spend every dime that they have?
You're going to have to narrow that question down markedly more than you just did. All of these teams, what teams are you talking
The
about?
teams that have money, the teams that we've already mentioned, that have the
four of
most
them,
money.
Well, 4 of them have so much money that they're going to have to spend it because there's a cap floor.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars, Colts, Jets, and Patriots are going to have to spend a shit load of money because their active cap spending right now is below. Let's say I think the percentage is you have to roll 90% over 3 years. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong on that. I'm 99% sure I'm right. The Jets were $30-some odd million on the cap during the season. So yeah, I mean you're going to see stupid money. You're going to see stupid money. Matt Judon's going to get. See, this is the weird part of this: is that you have several teams that have so much money that they have to spend. The Jets are going to have $85 million. I pulled it to see what the number actually was.
Okay.
The Jaguars could have $100 million with a new coach and a new GM. You don't think they're going to spend? But I don't think you're going to see the per player deals. Like Matt Judon's not getting Von Miller, Khalil Mack money. He's a step below them anyway.
Right.
But I mean, I can see Matt Judon getting $13 million, $12 million. Allen Robinson, same thing. They find one flaw, they're going to find a reason to not spend on you because they don't have any competition. I mean, you got to think. Take Allen Robinson for example. I'm going to take the Bucks out because you have 31 players, so
Right.
you really don't count.
No.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 8 teams that have more than $25 million. That's all of the competition for Matt Judon, Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay, on and on and on and on and on. And 2 of those teams are the Broncos and the Bengals who don't need a receiver. So where's the market? All right, Washington could fire a deal at Allen Robinson or Golladay. That, by the way, that makes so much sense. It just made my head hurt. But there's no competition. Jacksonville, the Jets, and the Colts and the Patriots are going to be able to just cherry pick whatever they want. And it's not like you have anybody bidding against you because nobody has that much money.
So then I have to ask you: are you still down on the Patriots next year?
Yes. Yes, because who's your quarterback? All right, let's say it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
So you're telling me that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be markedly better coming away from Kyle Shanahan, who's a better play caller than Josh McDaniels. I will fight that to my dying day. And if you want to argue with me, I have stats that will back me up precipitously. So he's going to leave the better play caller. There's better weapons in San Francisco. It's not even close. The lines are pretty close, and the 49ers defense is better. So you think he's going to go to New England and be better. Okay, then. I need you to explain that to me real slow. Don't use big words. Because it makes no sense. I've heard this all offseason. Oh, Garoppolo winds up in New England. Okay. And?
It makes them better.
Does it, though?
I mean, yeah, I would say. I mean, to me, Jimmy Garoppolo is a markedly better quarterback than Cam Newton.
Okay, when New England was successful this year, what did they do?
Were they successful at any point in the season?
They won 7 games, so yeah, they were successful at some point. What did New England do well in games they won? We've talked about this all. Run the ball. So you ran the ball because you have Michael Onwenu, who was your crystal, the crown jewel of your draft class, and Joe Thuney. What do? Run block. Thuney's a free agent, by the way, and I don't think he's coming back. So you're telling me you're going to take one of the most immobile quarterbacks in the NFL, put it behind that line that does not pass block well, and oh yeah, he's a fucking statue that holds the ball too long. Good luck with that. No, I don't. I actually don't think Jimmy Garoppolo makes them a lick better. You still have no weapons, and you're still going to be paying Garoppolo $25 million, which takes them out of damn near everything. New England's one of those teams that, yeah, they have money, but you also have to remember, this is without all of those opt-out guys on the cap. Because they're on the, the non-football related illness, the NFI list?
Yeah.
So currently their number does not count. So Dante Hightower, all of those guys, they're not on the cap sheet. Yes, they have money because the dead number from Tom came back. You also have no quarterback. And you have no receivers. And you have a shitload of free agents. J.C. Jackson is a free agent who will get a reasonably big offer. He was in the top 4 in the NFL in interceptions this year?
Yeah,
somebody's going to throw money at him. Because there's not a ton of defensive guys on the market. So, yeah, I look at New England and go, you're in the worst shape of damn near any team in the NFL. Name me who's worse. Who's in worse shape?
The Lions.
I disagree with you.
The Lions aren't in worse shape than the Patriots.
The Lions have 2 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. The Lions are going to have money to spend coming out of their ears. Name 3 players on that team.
On the Lions team?
You see how you got real quiet?
DeAndre
Swift, Jeff Okudah, and then you get to Trey Flowers. Yeah, he's going to be gone in a year. They're going to have more money than they know what to do with 4 first-round picks in 2 years. And they're going to have the number 1 pick, most likely in next year's draft, to take Sam Howell. Yes, they're in markedly better shape than the New England Patriots are.
Okay. I wasn't necessarily thinking into the future. I was just thinking year over year, but...
you can't think year over year.
Right.
See, that's what teams like the Carolina Panthers do. Again, not trying to just bash the Panthers, but this Teddy Bridgewater thing's blowing my mind.
Right.
That's how you wind up in purgatory forever. I'm talking state of the franchise. You name me a team that's in worse shape. Stephen Tao said Houston. Okay, here would be my argument to that. You have an asset that's getting ready to fund your draft war chest for the next 3 years. Does New England have that?
No.
Nope. Houston could wind up, now granted they're not going to have a quarterback. Here's something we hadn't talked about. It's entirely possible that Houston's the worst team in the league next year. And Houston winds up with Sam Howell. And then, yeah, you're in hellaciously better shape because you're going to have multiple first-rounders in the next 2 drafts. Yeah, they're in better shape. Philadelphia, you have an asset that could lead to you having 2 first-round picks this year. You have a young quarterback that was okay. And he was a project anyway. He was better in year 1 than I could have ever imagined him to be. I'm still not sold, and I still don't think he's a quarterback, but it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Right. And you've got a running back, and you've got a young wide receiver that hopefully will develop into something. You've got tiny pieces with Philadelphia that makes them a little bit better. But the quarterback situation there is awful.
Alex Sander has a good point that not many people leave New England and go back. Patrick Chung, by the way, would be the answer to who's left and come back. Because I think he's done it like 11 times. Anybody named McCourty, if they've left New England, they have immediately, like a boomerang, come right back. But that's because their system fits. The thing about New England that's always cracked me up is this is a system. Whether it's the receivers, defensive guys, you're playing in a system, and you fit this really. That was one thing Bill did well, is that he found pieces that fit into that system, and he made them really good. Kyle Van Noy in Miami is one of the few that have ever left and found another system that was like that. Because Pat Matricia's system was not exactly like Bill Belichick's. Even though he ran the defense, it wasn't the same system.
Right. What is it? The only way they make a deal is if Aaron Rodgers decides to go to Texas. And I don't see that happening.
Are you talking about the only way that the Texans make a deal on Deshaun Watson? I disagree with you vehemently.
Yeah.
See, right now, the Texans are doing exactly what they should do right now. You don't have any reason currently to be fielding trade calls and things like that. You don't. You can't make this move for another month. Mm-hmm. So you can take this month. You know what these teams are going to offer. Hell, I'll tell you what they're going to offer. I've said it on this show numerous times. These are the offers you're going to get. That Godfather deal where you get 5 first-rounders is not coming. So if that's what you're holding out hope for, good luck. Mm-hmm. But they know what they're going to get. So they can sit here for a month and bide time, and they're going to be the number one story on every sports talk show for the next month. Because now we have nothing to talk about. We're not going to talk about the NBA, because the only thing we're going to talk about the NBA right now is Mark Cuban and how fucking absolutely idiotic his response to this national anthem thing was.
Right.
Of which, if you want to talk about that on this show, cool, because I can say fuck on this show. Because my response to that is going to start with fuck, and it's going to end with Mark Cuban.
Nice.
I don't like being talked to like I'm an idiot.
What did he say? I didn't even see.
Oh, wait, this was an ongoing discussion, and we didn't make any decision. Horseshit. You said yesterday that you would talk to Adam Silver. Don't talk to me like I'm a moron.
Right.
You know, Mark Cuban, just because you got more money than God does not mean you can talk to me like I'm a moron. I don't know how I got off on this. I didn't mean to.
I don't know either. Because that's the only thing really to talk about in the NBA. Is that
was
the
the
point you were trying to make?
I was trying to make, yeah. The Texans want to keep Deshaun Watson. There's not a path. Every person I've talked to, there's no. Okay,
there is a path to keeping
what's the path?
Deshaun Watson, but if you do that, you risk that he won't play. You risk that he won't show up. I mean, they don't.
I don't think
have
you have
to
any,
trade him.
I don't think you have any risk that. I don't think there's any risk that he's not going to show up. Deshaun Watson's going to play. Deshaun Watson's going to cash checks, and Deshaun Watson's going to play. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, that's what I believe, but I don't know how pissed off he is at this point.
That's what every person in the NFL I've talked to has said. He's not going to pull the Le'Veon Bell thing. Mm-hmm. However, he can make it really uncomfortable. This is the leader of the team. This is the only voice that would be in this locker room, because J.J. Watt's not coming back. I don't give a fuck who your quarterback is. I don't care if it's Deshaun Watson or Joe Falco. I don't care. J.J. Watt's gone. They're not paying him $19 million for what this team's going to be.
What are they going to be able to get for like a 3 for him?
For J.J. Watt?
Yeah.
I could see them getting a conditional 2 and a 5. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a 1. He's too old. No. And he stays hurt all the time.
He's too old and
he's
too much
expensive
money.
as hell. Yeah. So, no, I mean, I don't think it's going to be copious amounts. But they do. The gist of what I'm trying to say is that somebody had said they were in worse shape than New England.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They have assets. New England has nothing. Mm-hmm. What does New England have currently that you would want? I'll wait. You give me the asset that would actually fetch above a 3.
Jackson.
Stephon Gilmore is free agent.
J.C. Jackson.
He's a free agent. He's a restricted free agent. But you done boo-boo kidding J.C. Jackson. Now, you can franchise Stephon Gilmore, but I got news for you. He ain't worth what you think he is. He's 33 years old. Mm-hmm. That's my point. The cupboard is completely bare. You have no extra draft capital. You have no talent. You have no quarterback. And once you have a quarterback, you have no money. There is no barer cupboard in the world than New England Patriots. Sorry. If you're a Patriots fan, sorry. You got 20 years. And now you get to eat shit for about 10.
Right.
Tough luck. I'll cry for you, I promise.
Who is there a guy that you just find the perfect fit for that you really want to happen? The deal that you really want to happen this offseason? Is it Deshaun Watson to Miami? Is
Deshaun
it
Watson to Miami
Judon?
Makes the most sense. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Matthew Judon and one of the receivers wind up with the Jets. The Jaguars, the Von Miller thing makes a ton of sense. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to try to build a defense and a line. The good thing for Jacksonville is they have draft capital, and this is a good offensive line draft. Somebody had mentioned Miners, that center from Wisconsin, Whitewater, that became a thing at the
Senior Bowl.
Yeah. I got news for you. If you're not willing to take him in the second round, you're not going to get him. Just not. He was that good. He might go in the first round. It would slightly shock me because there's too many interior linemen that I have ahead of him. Rashawn Slater's ahead of him. Wyatt Davis from Ohio State's ahead of him. But then he falls in right behind that.
Darrisaw.
Christian Darrisaw's outside. He's a tackle.
Oh, okay.
He projects as a tackle. Some teams think he could be a guard. I don't think his feet are good enough for that. I like him as a right tackle. There's not high-level offensive line talent in this draft. Like, there's Penny Sewell and Rashawn Slater's not that guy. He's just very versatile.
Right.
That's what's going to get him overdrafted, in my opinion. I think he's very good. I don't see this guy for making Pro Bowls. Christian Darrisaw, same thing. I think he'll be a fine right tackle. I don't think he's ever going to be a Pro Bowler.
Right.
But there are guys that if you're trying to build a line around, say, I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, you can do markedly better than what you're doing right now. But now you ask me a deal that I really want to see. The more I think about it, the more I think about Kenny Golladay in Washington. Washington needs another guy on the outside. And I like Gandy Golden a lot, but Terry McLaurin can play in the slot. If I have Gandy Golden and Golladay on the outside, I'm good with that. Alex Smith and Heineke at quarterback with Antonio Gibson and that defense. You got to remember in Washington, the offense doesn't have to be that good. They have to not turn the ball over. It's the reason I'm convinced Alex Smith's coming back. They will look at Alex Smith and go, "It's your job. Mr. Never turns the ball over."
Yep.
And that's how I would wager that goes.
With Taylor Heineke being re-signed yesterday, I think I'm glad to see you've come over to my side today.
Now the Taylor Heineke thing has nothing to do with that.
What?
Alex Smith coming back. They have nothing to do with one another. I already explained this to you once. Let me do it again. If Alex Smith comes back, is Taylor Heineke an overpaid backup? Remember, this is a guy who almost lost a fucking leg. So paying Taylor Heineke $4 million, is that an overpay if he's the backup?
No.
No. If Alex Smith decides to retire, is Taylor Heineke a fine one-year stopgap if you draft a quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. We got 4 people in this room, 3 of them are nodding, and you're the one that's not. You're wrong. Okay, how are you going to do better? What's better, Tyrod Taylor, who's 306 years old? Because that's about where you're at. I mean, Washington has money. They don't have money like that.
Right.
So, you tell me where I'm wrong.
I would say so.
That Taylor Heineke's a fine one-year stop. Okay, who's better? What can Washington get that is better than that? You're picking at 19. You have no bullets in the gun in terms of trading up to get a quarterback. They will all be gone by 19. All 5 first-round quarterbacks will be gone by 19. All right, so
I would say somebody in that area, in the Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod.
Well, Jacoby Brissett's going to cost about $20 million, so I don't know how the hell you think he's going to get to Washington, who has $29 million.
I seriously doubt he's getting that much money.
I will bet you $1 to any. I'll bet you $1 to any donut you want. He gets more than 15.
Really?
Him and Mr. Trubisky both. You remember that at Fat Camp, a bag of Skittles becomes steak tartare. Well, currently the quarterback market in the NFL is Fat Camp. And they're feeding you a lot of celery, and you're looking for a damn T-bone. And Jacoby Brissett's a little bit better than a dog treat, but you know what it's better than? Celery.
Right. All right. I couldn't fork over that much money to
That's
those
the point.
guys. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You got everybody wanting to make a change, and some
Adam
guys are
Schefter
going to
had
get
you at
overpaid.
18 quarterback transitions this year, and the Rams weren't one of them. That was not one of the ones we were intending.
Right.
When I did the math, I didn't even think about them, and I was at 16 that were no doubt. Where are they going to come from? There's 5 draftable quarterbacks. 2 of them shouldn't play this year under any circumstances. So where are they going to come from? Who are you going to start? It gets very Case Keenum, Jacoby Brissett, Colt McCoy-ish in a hurry. And Jacoby Brissett's the best of the bunch. He started the most games out of all of them. most starting experience, best bridge quarterback, most talented quarterback. I think he's more talented than Mitch Trubisky, and I don't think it's all that close. Mm-hmm. I think he's the best free agent quarterback in this market. I see Ron agreeing with me.
I guess you're. Sure.
At fat camp, a dog treat becomes steak tartare.
Okay,
and that's where we're at.
I don't know. It's just he's never done anything to make. And I said this when he got signed to the $20 million deal with the Indianapolis Colts. He'd never done anything to make me feel like he deserves that kind of money. That he would bring any kind of return on that investment.
Ooh,
and so far, I was right.
Ooh, Luke Haynes said had a spicy on YouTube. I'm going to read his comment, and then I'm going to go off about it.
Okay.
He said, I'm going to say if someone is pro Gina Carano and anti Colin Kaepernick regarding their profession, you're a hypocrite, point blank. Here's the thing. I wasn't anti either one of them. You have the right to say whatever you want to. The fact that that your employer cuts you loose, they have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. There's no anti anything. You say whatever the hell you want to. You can say whatever lunatic shit you want to. And I'm not saying either of what they said was that. I don't even, to this day, I don't know what Gina Carano said. I saw screenshots. The ones I saw were very poor word choicing, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. But no, I never said you're not entitled to say whatever you want to. You can say whatever you want to. Just expect there's going to be backlash.
Yes.
I also said if Colin Kaepernick was Lamar Jackson, he would have had a job. He wasn't, and he didn't. Mm-hmm. Let me put it this way, and this is going to be that spicy. If you want to say spicy shit, you better be real good at what you do. Because if you're not, you will get left behind in no time.
Yeah.
Because you're not worth the headache. Whether they agree with you or not, it doesn't matter. Because let me ask I want to ask a question across all of the platforms. YouTube, Facebook, in the comments. Name one thing that people can universally agree on right now.
Tom Brady's greatest all time.
Tom Brady's greatest all time.
All right, there's one. I got one. Anything else? Can we even agree on what fucking day it is?
Yeah, I think universally we can all.
You'd be shocked. Somebody's gonna be like, "Nope, today identifies as Wednesday." Fuck off. That's how stupid.
No, going by the original Gregorian calendar, today would be a Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean that's how stupid arguments of this nature have gotten.
Right.
Nobody agrees on anything. Mm-hmm. It is insane.
Yeah, unless you have said something just completely, inhumane, I guess, I have never said you can't say or you don't have a right to say what you want. What Jeremy said is absolutely right.
Stephen Tao said it perfectly. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences.
Exactly.
I have said that for as long as I've had a microphone in front of my face. Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want to say. Once. You can say the most lunatic shit you want to one time. Mm-hmm. He and I could come on ESPN Radio and do a 2-hour show called the Fuckity Fuck. We'd do it once.
We'd do it for about 10 seconds.
No, we'd get longer than that.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
We'd get longer than that.
If the boss was on a conference call, it might last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Before the door got broken down. And we were kicked out of the studio. Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want to.
Once.
And it doesn't mean that you're smart, and it doesn't mean that you're right. It just means that that's what you believe. And, if what you say is stupid, then the market's going to dictate what your fate is.
Now
when you say when you say something about Nazis on Facebook, I didn't even see what she said either, but I saw the references.
Well, and here's the thing. What Brian said was it was a transgender thing. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
The thing that they're talking about right now is she basically, and I don't know the verbatim, so forgive me if I get this wrong. She compared being a conservative in Hollywood to being to the tyranny of Nazi Germany. Mm. What she was trying to say is that you can't say anything against the. She was comparing the hierarchy of Hollywood to the Third Reich. That's a very poor choice of comparison.
Guess what? Disney producers don't like that shit.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, and they shouldn't. It's a stupid comparison. It was a really poor choice of words. Mm-hmm. Here's what I will say: it's hard to be a conservative in talk radio.
Absolutely.
I know one. I've met a guy. Met a feller. He looks like a big lumberjack and wears a backwards hat most days.
Yep.
Because you get a lot of shit. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a conservative in media, check my Twitter mentions. I delete a lot of them because they're subhuman. I've been told in the last 6 months to get killed in a car wreck, jump off a bridge, and drown myself in a bathtub. So I'm not saying I agree with her at all. What I'm saying is I understand the point she was trying to make. She just made it very, very, very poorly.
And your employer has the right to do what he wants to.
100%.
I look at this in the same way as my initial reaction to the Mark Cuban thing. Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks. And if he doesn't want to have the national anthem played before his games, it's his right.
No, it's not. No,
Well,
it's not.
we found out later that it wasn't. But
Yeah, it's not.
at the moment, before we knew that was in the rule book, because I didn't know that was in the NBA rule book, that all teams had to play it. But apparently it is, and the NBA came out and corrected that after the story got out yesterday that Cuban said, we haven't been playing it, and we're not going to be playing it. And they said, oh, yes, you will. But that's the thing. Like, as long as, if you have a business, you can decide to do with that business what you want to. But here's the thing. The market can come back and decide, guess what, buddy? You own a basketball team in the state of Texas. If that had been allowed to stand, I wouldn't have been shocked at how you could have thrown any number at me and said, this is how much money the Dallas Mavericks lost in the last year since they stopped playing the national anthem, and I would believe it. Because that's just a touchy subject for a lot of people,
Well, I mean,
especially in that area.
Here's the thing. You know what Mark Cuban learned yesterday? At the end of the day, your employer, these all play into the same thing. If you try to force the hand of your employer, it's going to bite you. Adam Silver, at the end of the day, is the czar of the NBA. He tried to force an issue. That's what Mark Cuban tried to do. At the end of the day, he tried to push his narrative and do it, and nobody noticed it. You want me to tell you the most disturbing thing about that? The commissioner of your league didn't know you weren't playing the national anthem for 12 fucking games. He said yesterday, oh, do they show it on television that much? Yeah, they do. Because on regionalized television, they have 11 minutes to kill between the start of the broadcast and tip-off. Right. You know what's happening in that time? National anthem. So they show it all the time. The commissioner of the league didn't even know that.
Yep.
You tried to force the hand, and he very quickly said, no. You're not forcing my hand. This is Kevin Warren with Big Ten all over again. I'm trying to force you to bend to my will. Not going to work.
Yep.
And he got exactly it was predictable as hell that he got exactly what we all thought he was going to get.
Because the PR hit would have been too great for the NBA. Adam Silver had to step in and say something. Because that falls on him. It's his organization. He's the head of the organization. The Dallas Mavericks are a member of that organization. And if that was allowed to stand, that would reflect badly on the league. And the league's already fighting too many of these image issues.
Yep.
Right now.
And for better or worse. And here's the thing. You can get mad about that. The numbers bear it out. Of what... Because I'm sure somebody somewhere is going to say, oh, it shouldn't hurt the NBA that the social justice thing. I'm not saying it should hurt it. I'm saying it did. And that's not even a debatable topic. That's as non-debatable as saying today is Thursday. Look at the fucking numbers. What changed? Oh, they were playing without fans. Who gives a shit? So was the NBA. So was the NFL. Hurt their numbers? Not nearly as much. Oh, it's cord cutting. Oh, weird. Cord cutting didn't hurt the NFL that much. Strange.
Younger audience. It's younger audience, more connected.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Not true. It's actually historically not true. I've always laughed at that myth that the NBA has a younger audience. No, it doesn't. It has a very loyal, about my age, I'm 33, to about 48 demo. That's the NBA's demo. It's not a younger demo. It's bullshit. It's a false narrative. It's a lie that you have been told forever, and people just go, okay. No, younger people don't watch the NBA. It's their third best demographic, if that number still holds true.
Really?
18 to 33 is the third best demographic in the NBA.
Huh. That's surprising to me.
65 or 48 to 65, 33 to 48 are both better. 65 plus is not good.
Not at all.
65 plus is not exactly the NBA's wheelhouse.
Because they miss Bob Cousy.
Yeah, they're too busy watching baseball.
This is very true as well. The state of the NBA right now.
It's not good.
Right.
The commissioner of the league didn't know one of their teams was not playing the national anthem for 12 games.
Look,
I think that's the best state of the NBA I can give you.
It's hard to tell what teams are good, which teams are going to show up on what night. Who's going to have a Not even a full roster. Who's going to have the 8 minimum guys that you're going to need to take the floor every night? The what?
The Hornets.
The Hornets? What about the Hornets? The Hornets are good.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets are good.
Mm-hmm. Even though they got shellacked by Memphis last night.
Because I bet on them.
Oh, of course. Jeremy says Charlotte's the better team. You should take them as the underdog, and they got spanked by,
Yep.
what was it, 17?
Yeah, I'm the Black Dahlia of NBA betting right now. If I bet it, I will kill it. What's that of Mice and Men? The big guy that pets the bird and really kills it? Lenny. Yeah, I'm that. I find a bet and I go, let me I'll squeeze it. I caught Joe. And its head came off in my hand. I'm like 7-22 in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, I swear to God, I could have given a baby kitten a betting sheet and put ink on its paws, and whatever you touch, I'll bet, and it would have been better.
What was your official record last night again?
2-3.
Oh, you were 2-3?
Yeah, I actually finally won 2 games.
Finally.
Yeah, it was.
You
it was
added
tough.
an extra one.
Yeah, it was tough. I added an extra game, added an extra win. There we go. Tonight I'm going to bet every game, and I'll go 3-46.
There you go. That's improvement, though. Day after day, improvement.
Yeah, by percentage, it ain't much of an improvement.
But with the state of the NBA the way it is right now, when you hear record talk, because last night the Chicago Bulls had a first in the NBA. It's the first time that 2 teammates had hit 8 or more three-pointers together in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Zach LaVine and Kobe White.
Zach LaVine had him a day. Zach LaVine's a good basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's the most infuriating. By the way, here's a fun stat. I have bet the last 7 Chicago Bulls games. How many do you think I've gotten right?
5.
You're too high.
1.
You're too high. I'm 0-7 in the last 7 Bulls games.
Is that
I hate the Bulls!
Is that always picking them or
No, I waffle. I watch them and I'm like, oh, you're good. And then they play the next night, they're bad. And then you're bad. This is the worst god-awful streak I've ever gone through. I feel like Chuck Knobloch at this point betting NBA basketball. Like, the ball comes to me, and I go, I got to throw it to first, and then I just go, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I threw it in the right field.
But I mean, how do you compartmentalize records like this in today's NBA, where the game has just changed and guys are shooting way more and they're shooting from the fucking logo half the time and all of that? I don't know. To me, these shooting records seem pretty hollow.
Oh, they are.
In today's NBA. Like, I mean, that's cool. It's cool that Kobe White's going to be, in the record books now. Forever, probably, in that category. Well, until, I don't know, until Steph Curry and Klay Thompson come back next year. Yeah. and they just focus one game on beating that record because they want to hold it. But there was another story today about Seth Curry and how Seth Curry is he's on pace to be the most prolific shooter in a single season in NBA history. The guy through the first 26 games of the season hasn't missed a free throw. He's like 31 of 31 from the line. He's shooting over 50% from three-point range and shooting over 50% from the floor. If he's able to maintain this for the next 2/3 of the NBA season, he'll be the first guy to ever do it. Now, it's cool that, Seth Curry, I didn't even realize coming into the season how, prolific of a shooter he was, being one of the, he's got one of the highest shooting percentages of anybody. He's got a better shooting percentage than his brother from three-point range. So he's a great shooter. We all knew that. But I just kind of look at these things and go, yeah, okay. I mean, it's the NBA. Everybody seems like they can score 50 a night.
Oh, yeah, the scoring in the NBA has gotten insane. That's why it's so hard to bet this, by the way. I've been getting inundated with questions of why are you still betting the NBA? Because I have to. Because we have a segment that has been burrowed into our show since the day it was concepted. I don't have a choice, and I'm not betting hockey prop bets. The show before us talks a lot of hockey. I can't do that. Not in North Carolina. Sorry.
Would you even know if you tried?
How to do it?
No.
Or what to do?
No, how to actually give an educated opinion on what to bet in the NHL tonight.
I'm still not understanding if you're are you asking me, do I know how to bet the NHL, or do I know anything about the NHL?
Do you know anything about the NHL to be able to give people pointers?
No.
Okay, that was kind of my point.
Bet on Tampa, you'll win.
Yes. I'm gonna follow Ron's advice. I'm gonna bet the Lightning every night just to keep the line static.
And the Hurricanes, are the Hurricanes still doing good?
Yeah,
They're still up there, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're the top two. They're like two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Hey,
Steven,
I'm shocked I even knew there was an Eastern-Western Conference.
Brandon Fish said name a single player in the NHL. Sidney Crosby.
Oh,
Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah. You stole mine. I don't have one.
PK Subban. Oh, I could do this for a while. I wouldn't stop for a minute. Just because I don't talk about. Did you just say Patrick Waugh's been a coach? He was literally a coach of a team. Oh yeah, I could do that for a while. Just because I don't talk about the sport doesn't mean I don't follow it. I follow baseball. Hell, I could give you 50 players in Major League Baseball. Not that I care, but I do watch SportsCenter every day.
I care.
I keep abreast of it.
I care.
Oh, Fish said name a hurricane. Shit.
Jordan Stahl.
Let's see. I was going to go Eric Stahl.
I know that
Dick.
Rob Brindamore is their coach.
I knew Rob Brindamore was their coach. Let's see. Name a hurricane. Irene. Fran. Hugo. Andrew.
Hugo.
I can name a lot of hurricanes. We're actually, my
Ed Reed.
hot fiance Amy and I are actually going to a hockey game on Saturday.
Are you?
Yeah, we're going down to Greenville. I haven't seen.
Are you going to see the Swamp Rabbits?
Yeah, we are, and I'm buying a jersey. It's happening, and I'm going to wear it.
Don't do that.
I'm
That's
doing
the
it.
stupidest jersey.
No, it's not. I'm doing it. Piss off. Swamp Rabbit.
It's dumb. It was so much better when it was the Gladiators. Such a cooler logo too.
You're trying to convince me that they were better as the Gladiators than the Swamp Rabbits?
Yeah.
This is the same guy that liked the what was it, the Burlington Sock Puppets?
I mean, it was cute for a minor league team.
This is a minor league team.
Yeah, but it's not cute. It's just dumb. To me, I don't know.
Stephen Tao
Ice
said,
skating rabbits is like a dumb idea to me.
Stephen Tao said Tank's not allowed to make fun of any jersey after last week. Comment of the year. Thank you. To my knowledge, his wife has still not figured out why that was funny. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it.
It's not going to happen. If she ain't picked it up this quickly, it's never going to happen.
This is This is a Wendell Sapp jersey from McDonald's University. It's Mac Arnold's.
Since you brought it up, baseball players.
Black Arnold's. That's right. I keep fucking that up.
Since you brought up baseball players, I do have to say I'm pretty upset today. Andrew Benintendi has been traded from the Boston Red Sox to the Kansas City Royals. 3-team deal. Boston ends up getting 5 guys back. It's just one of those things that this is a guy who was such an important piece of a championship team. And I know he had two rough years in a row. He only played 14 games last year and hit 103, I think it was. 103, 108, somewhere in there. But he's one of the guys that, like, he was one of the fan favorites. You think back to the the really good teams that we had over the past 5 years. You had Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Andrew Benintendi, one of the best outfields in all of Major League Baseball. If you had told me 3 years ago that none of those guys would still be around today, I would have laughed in your face. And now they're saying that the $6.5 million or whatever it was that they saved on Andrew Benintendi, they might bring back Jackie Bradley Jr. If you'd have told me he'd be the one left, I really would have laughed in your face. But it's just one of those. It's one of those things when you have a fan favorite guy that gets traded. What are you doing?
Keep talking. Keep talking your baseball shit.
When you have a fan favorite that gets traded, it's always a sad scenario. What are you doing?
I'm going to go run my head into this wall at full speed if you keep talking about fucking baseball.
There really will be no better storyline in baseball this year than the starting rotation of the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have done a fantastic job. The San Diego Padres may just give them a run for their money in the NL West. That wasn't near hard enough. I was waiting to hear it crash, and then I would stop.
It has a signature on it. I'm not going to do that.
It's an autographed helmet. You can't possibly do that. Be sure to like, share, and follow the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah!
As insufferable as he ever is.
I can't hear shit.
We'll be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Back here tomorrow morning live from the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. We'll see you this afternoon.
Ugh.